Hey friends, it's Tracy from Tea Time with Tracy and friends. Oh, my washing machine just stopped. Anyways, I have been meaning to do this video. I seen that there's a readathon coming up in June. Camp SeasonAthon, I think that's what it's called. It's put on by, I have my thing here just because I have a few notes. I have a new baby. This is Magda May Hyacinth Bouquet. And then you guys might know Boris, that's her big brother. My standard poodles. Anyways, so if I'm distracted, I don't want to make this video too long, but I wanted to put out my TBR for Camp SeasonAthon. It's put on by Melanie from Completely Melanie. Here's a picture of her channel. I'll put all the channels and stuff down below. Kimberly from Whimsical Narratives. Here she is. And Debbie from Books and Bougeot. Here. I've watched their channels. I love watching TBR games and things like that. And yeah, so I've been following along with them for quite some time. But this is the first time taking part in readathon with them. It goes all month long, all the month of June. And they have the information. There's a Discord. You can click. Again, all down below, and you get sorted into camp, like huts, cabins or whatever. I'm in the pink cabin. There's two other cabins you could be sorted into, but you don't know which cabin you go into until you fill out the form that goes with this readathon. I just put in my information, and I joined their Discord, and I was in the pink cabin, which is Melanie's cabin. So each cabin has their own prompts for the huts. There's this beautiful map. Here it is. Yeah, isn't it cute? There's 16 buildings, and for Melanie's campers, I have the list here of what the prompts are. Some of the prompts cross over to the other groups, other color cabins, but not all of them. So I have a stack of books here. I'm going to try to read them all in June and yeah, get as many points. There is a link that you go and put in the books that you read, and friggin' adorable. Let me just show you. Oh, you guys. They were just laying, she was laying right on them. Anyways, yeah, I forget what I was saying. I don't know, a link that you log the books, they tally the points, and I guess whatever cabin gets the most points at the end of the month gets bragging rights, I guess. I'm really not sure. Anyways, so I'm going to go through the prompts for the pink cabin. Just hold your horses. All right, it's a busy day in my household. It's Victoria Day here. I'm in Nova Scotia. It's rainy. It's dreary. One of my boys are in the shower now, and I just wanted to get this going. So the first prompt is join your counselor's live reading. For Melanie, it's June 7th at 3 p.m. I think Eastern Standard Time. So I'm going to try to do that. I'm a busy mom. I have a house full of kids. If I'm able to pop in, even just for a minute, I'm going to do that. So there's not really a book to read for that. You just pop in and do a reading sprint. So anyway, so book 2 is the stables. You'll see on the map, there's stables. Read a book with an animal on the cover. Now, what I picked out for that is Pig Island by Mo Hader. I read her Jack Cafferty series. I think there's 5 or 6 books in that series. These are extremely, extremely dark crime detective, disturbing book. Like, that was a series. Magda, stop it. Anyways, I've read all of that, and I have this. I'm sorry, the glare. This is about not a police person, but like a reporter, investigative reporter that goes to try to prove scams for cults and different groups claiming that, you know, the miracles of religious healing or any kind of cult, just to go and infiltrate and try to show that it's a scam, if it's an actual scam. This one, what I know of it, it takes place on this island off the coast of Scotland somewheres, a little island that apparently people call it Pig Island, and it was a cult that something tragic happened there, and people are scared to go there. There is people that still live on this tiny island, but they believe that they're devil worshippers and that they summon demons or monsters or something like that. So I'm going to do this. Now, my version of the book does not have a picture of any animals on the cover, but I'm going to listen to this via audio. It's on Everand, and it does have a pig head on it. So I'm going to count this. It has the word pig. The audio version that I'm going to do does have an animal on the cover. I'll put that picture here, and that will satisfy that prompt, I believe. So prompt 3 is the Outhouse. Read your lowest rated book. For me, I have different reading lists for the year. So the lowest rated on my spring TBR, I think I have two or three books left to read. The lowest rated one, according to Goodreads, was 3.66, was Cell by Stephen King. This is also on my 25 and 25, I think, or Beefcake list. I'm not sure, but spring is just about over. It'll be over when summer starts, June 21st. And this, oh, just a minute. I swear a puppy is just like a little baby. Where did I put that book? Here. It has a picture of him on the back. I believe it's about some sort of everybody that has a cell phone. It follows a guy who's a comedian, I believe, and he's struggling to take care of his family financially, and he goes somewheres for a show, but when he gets there, something goes off with the cell phones, and almost everybody has a cell phone, and they turn into, I don't know if it's zombies, or they turn into animals, or they turn into crazy people. There's only a handful of people that didn't have a cell phone that are still normal, and he wants to try to get back to his family. That's all I really know about it. I've been wanting to read this for a long time. It's not that big. This too is on Everand, so I will probably do this audio. If not, I can read it. It's not that big. So that's my lowest rated of the books that I want to read. Yeah. All right, the next one is The Dining Hall. Read a book with food on the cover. Now, this one is kind of strange. Off Season by Jack Cafferty. Now, some of you might not know what this book is about at all. This is a horror book. Jack Cafferty is a horror writer. This is about cannibals. So, all I know about this is a handful of friends go, I think it's just one woman actually goes to rent a cottage, and her friends come over. Anyways, it's out in the woods, and it turns out there's some cannibals that live in the woods. So, although this is not food I would eat, there is a cauldron here with some bones sticking out of it. So it's a matter of perspective. Two crazy cannibals, this would be food. So I'm counting this. I've had this book a couple years. I haven't read it. I like to read a lot of horror. And I thought I would get to it. I do have the next book that goes with this. But yeah, not really tasty food for us, but to a cannibal, there's food on the cover. So that one. All right. The next one is The Main Office. So that you need to find a book with found family in it. This one, A Gift Upon the Shore by M.K. Wren. I believe this is like an apocalyptic book after the fact, or a dystopian book. The world's been ravished there's very few survivors, and it follows two older senior ladies who lived through the transition, the apocalypse or whatever, and they're determined to survive and try to save all the books that they can find, because that will have the history of the world for future generations if there ever is some. I'm assuming there's survival. I believe there's flashbacks, probably, you know, probably telling about the event. Magda May! Ugh. I'm so sorry. Usually I try to make my video like this a little more organized and seamless. However, it's not going to be this go around. Anyways, found family. I believe this would fall under that category because probably such a bond or friendship between these two older ladies. That would be, and they're the only ones. Like, maybe there's other people in this. I don't know. But found family. They found each other after the collapse, and they have to live the rest of their lives surviving and hopefully thriving. I don't know, but found family. All right, the next one is The Theater Hall. Read a book with parts or acts. Stephen King, The Outsider. This is on, I think, my Beefcake TBR for the year, which are big books. This has, I looked at it, has chapter numbers, but part 1, part 2, part 3. That I'm assuming that's what that means. This too is on Everand. So I will attempt to read it paperback, but I haven't even done my June TBR yet. So I could try to cross over some of these books for that. But if I get overwhelmed by books, audio is available. I don't really know what this is about. I think there's a young child that's murdered brutally in a small town, and somebody is wrongfully accused. Wrongfully accused, and I think he is released because other facts come out. Even though he's still very suspected, there's facts that can't be explained, even though there's facts that obviously points to this person, but they can't prove it. I think that's what it's about. I'm assuming there's some sort of supernatural thing in this. I'm not sure, but it falls under the parts and acts. So, all right. The Canteen. Read a small book. So, small book, or I think, yeah. Anyways, Haley Piper, The Worm and His Kings. It's very short. It's 116 pages. Boris. No. Anyways, I could rip through this with my morning coffee, like morning time. So that's what I'm doing. I think it's an extreme horror. I believe it takes place, I didn't even read the back. I remember New York City, 1990. When you slip through the cracks, no one is there to catch you. Monique learns that the hard way after her girlfriend Donna vanishes without a trace. Anyways, I think it takes place down in a subway because it looks, you know, like tunnels or sewage tunnels or something. I don't know. But it'd be a quick little something or other. And that would be for the Canteen. The next one is The Climbing Wall. Read a book you are intimidated by. So, I'm going to read Toady. I have read this much months ago, back in 2024. And I really liked it. This is Mark Morris's debut novel from 1989. It's 702 pages. I'm on page 275. You can't get this on Kindle, even pay for it Kindle. There's no audio, but the only reason I stopped reading this is it takes place in winter. And when I started reading it, it was in summer of last year, and I just thought, I want to put this off because I liked it so much that I'll wait till winter. Winter is gone. It's spring now. It's going into summer. I just haven't got around to picking it up again. So I'm going to try to get to this. Again, I really like it. It's kind of a coming of age story. It follows, I think, 4 boys. It's the dead of winter. A Ouija board, an abandoned house, demons, horror club, you know, that sort of thing. So, that one. All right. The next one is Beach Volleyball. Read a book set outside. I'm going to read The Road of Bones by Christopher Golden. I think I read one book by him before. This is not very long. 228 pages. This takes place in Siberia. It's not really the ideal season here in Nova Scotia for this, because I guess it's freezing there in Siberia in the winter, but it follows a couple of friends, older, you know, like middle-aged people, and they're going to this abandoned town in isolated Siberia where people vanished without a trace. Nobody ever knows whatever happened to them, so they want to go and do a little documentary about it, and they follow this road of bones because the road, over the generations, people die out in Siberia, so the roads are made over top of the bodies of people that have lived there, so hence the road of bones. I'm assuming a lot of this takes place outside, bitter, freezing, cold, abandoned, hollow, bleak. So that's going to be for outside. This is a horror heavy readathon for me, but that's fine. That's fine. So there. All right. The next one is the Zipline. So I'm going to read Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter. I have read, I think, 2 or 3 Karen Slaughter books over the past couple of years. I really like her. I've had this book a while. It's a chunker. I don't have the audio, but if I want to get it, I will get it. But this is a chunker. It's 574 pages. So I don't really know about what this is about. People say it's super dark. I have an idea what I think it might be. This follows 2 sisters that are estranged from one another, but new information about their missing sister that disappeared when they were all younger arises, so they need to come back together and try to figure this out. But I find with Karen Slaughter's writing, you get to know the characters in the books, like their past history, but without it being so sloggy and weighed down. So these 2 sisters have been estranged for 20 years, and they come back together, living totally different lives, to try to figure out what happened to their older sister back when they were younger. I think like under 15, their older sister went missing. There's no closure. There's complete trauma in the family, and I want to read this. They say this is one of Karen Slaughter's darkest books, and that's okay. I am into dark and disturbing and bleak horror sometimes. So this isn't horror, it's thriller, but I'm going to try that one. Okay. The next room is jewelry making. Read a book with foil on the cover. All right. This is the only book I think I have that has foil. At least I consider it foil. It's kind of shiny. Like that purple pink color is shiny. I'm assuming that's foil. I don't have fancy books. It is a signed copy though. I did buy it secondhand from thrift books. Anyways, this is Gold Fame Citrus by Claire V. Watkins. What I know about this, it's kind of another apocalyptic sort of book. Not so much of a worldwide thing, I don't think, but it takes place in California, and it follows a couple of young people, like young adults. And there's a huge drought. Like, they're living in California, and California's huge, and there's absolutely no water. And they stumble across a little baby, and they're trying to survive. That's about all I know about this. I've never read anything by this author. I bought this on a whim when I heard people talking about end of the world type of books. That's all I know about it. Survival, drought, And I'm assuming if it's in California, it would be hot. So, you know, that's kind of good for spring, summer too. And it's kind of spring, summer colors, and there's foil. So I'm going to try that one. So there's that. All right. The next one is Art Studio. Read a book with a beautiful cover. So I picked this book. I like it's hard to pick up there. It's like ocean blue, like the dark marine kind of blue. There's kind of a glare, but there's a cabin on a lake in the forest, and then up here it's a guy in front of a window, I guess, and there's writing. I think there's letters and stuff. What are those kind of books called? Anyways, it's a second chance romance, which I don't really care for second chance romance a whole lot, but somebody mentioned this, and I thought I would try it, and it's a pretty cover. Yeah. All right, so yes, this is a pretty cover to me. This is available on KU too. I'm not sure if the other ones are. I will put a little blurb whenever I mention the books if they're on KU or whatever. So, pretty cover. All right. The next one is Basket Weaving. Read a mystery. I don't really read mysteries. I rarely read thrillers. Sometimes I do. Sometimes. I do have The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. I read another book by her. I forget what it was called. It was following a wedding party on an island and somebody got murdered. And you got to figure out who did it. So I'm assuming, I don't think this is the same book. I don't think it is. This is New Year's Reunion in a Remote Scottish Wilderness. I don't really know what this is about. I'm assuming there's a lodge if they're in the wilderness and somebody dies. And it's a mystery. She's trying to... I have a mirror there. Who's that? Anyways. I have bookmarks in these just so I have one when I go to read it. The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. I liked her other book. It was okay. Like, it wasn't anything drastic. I think I donated it to a little library. But I have this one so I can read it. And I can donate that if I don't feel like I need to keep it. All right. The next one is The Music Studio. Listen to an audiobook, which I plan on listening to an audiobook, but you're not supposed to double dip. So I don't have a physical book for this. I bought it on an Audible sale. It was The Har by David Sodergin. I think, I'm not sure how you say his last name. Sodergin. It's called The Har. Like H-A-A-R. It's 6 hours and 56 minutes. This takes place in a remote village. I'm not sure, in the UK somewheres, or in Scotland, or I forget what I read about it. And I think it's like a sea monster haunting a village. I don't really know. So I did read Maggie's Grave by this author, and I really liked it. It's horror. The Har is horror. He's a horror writer, but I did really enjoy Maggie's Grave, so I'm hoping I really enjoy The Har, which a 6 hour and 56 minute audiobook is easy to do.
I don't have any clothes.
Yeah, there's some on the rocking chair where I fold laundry. My husband, one of my boys are just in the downstairs washroom. I don't have any clothes. Number 15 is The Fire Pit. Join the author live chat and or the after hours live show. For Melanie, it's going to be on June 28th at 3 p.m. Eastern time. The after hour show will be at 7 p.m. on her channel. And then last but not least is to read the group book. All right. So yes, you just go try to take part in one or both of those things and you'll get a point. And then last but not least is the group book, which is The Savior's Champion by Jenna Morrissey. I've never read anything by this author. I bought this specifically for this readathon. It was cheaper to buy the hardback than it was the paperback. I'm not sure if it's on Kindle. Just what it says right there. It follows the female main character. She's like the savior's champion, or like the head honcho, and there's some sort of competition going on to compete to rule by her side. And the main male character has to take part in this tournament to try to win her hand, even though he doesn't like her. There must be some sort of family rift, but he's taking part in this tournament to the death to win her hand in order to save his family. I don't know. I'm not sure if this is romance or it's just like fantasy or what, but I know there is a book 2 to this. I didn't order that because I want to read this before I commit to anything. I think there's a book 2. Okay, so yes, that's the group book, and I think if you read this, you get more points than you would just one of your other books. I do plan on reading this. So, that's all the prompts. Again, I'll put all the stuff down below. I'll put all the links that they have. So if you are interested in taking part, please do, because it seems like a lot of fun. And there's people in the Discord. I'm a noob when it comes to Discord. I'm still trying to figure out how to use it, but I'm getting there. But I'm looking forward to this coming month, and I'm going to start soon as June 1st hits, and I'm going to bang out these books, hopefully, and have a good month. Yeah, let's bring on the camp season, I guess. So with that, I'm going to say peace, love, and happiness today and every single day. Please like, share, and subscribe if you so choose, but if not, that's okay too. I still love you. I still want all the happiness in the world for each and every one of you out there. I certainly do. I really, really honest and truly do. Yes, I do. So, okay, guys, with that, I'm going to say have a good night. Or have a good morning. And I will. See you next time. Bye.